Hello, everybody, again. This is John Hamilton, author, and I'm here to talk to you today about the second book in my series, Dusk Rising. Now, you'll have to excuse me, I had on my work shirt, and I just realized that I'm showing bare skin, so please don't be offended by my amazing, yeah. But anyway, so I want to talk about book rising. So I want to talk about Dusk Rising, and give you a little bit of a teaser about that. As of today, I'm just a few days away from going to New York, and pitching the first book for a movie, and it's pretty exciting, but we'll see what happens. It's not an easy industry, so you have to temper your expectations. But we're going to give it a shot. Anyway, I want to talk to you about this book. See if I can get it. There we go, kind of. I get my directions all backwards with the camera. Dusk Rising. There it is. And, yeah, it's pretty dark and foreboding cover. Now, Dusk Rising is a continuation of the first book, with the main character Eleazar. It takes place a year after the initial book, roughly, and he has spent a year gathering his thoughts about what happened the previous year, and spending time coming to terms with his feelings of loss and the emotions that went along with it. And as with things in life, things come around and present opportunities for you, and we never get to stay in one place too long. Sometimes, even if we try our best to stay in a rut, we get pushed out by something. But it turns out that there is something very terrible going on in the mountains in the Uri Valley. A town, a small village has been cut off, pretty much from all the outside, by something that's killing people, and it isn't just killing them; it's pretty grisly. And so, generally, when something unusual happens, the churches in the society, the religious orders, tend to get involved with the more odd problems. And in this case, they got involved after traditional forces had been sent by the local lord, and they were slaughtered. So this is where the church and their specialists come in to try to figure out the problem. So he gets asked to go by his mentor. I can't enunciate today. His mentor, Father Manish, who wants him to get out again anyway. He's spent long enough meditating and reflecting on life. He's 18 now. And so he gets put with another group of volunteers. Not all of them were quite so voluntary, but you'll read about that. To go to this place, which is quite a ways away. It takes them a couple days to get there. And they find that things are probably worse than anybody would have imagined, even more so than what people did imagine. Let's just say that. And so he's going to go into a new situation here that is very dangerous and is going to challenge his skill and his faith. But the events of the first book, as you always hope in our own lives, that we learn and grow from the things that happen to us. And he has. It doesn't make him like, things, losing somebody cares about or things like that. Those kind of things, they don't change. Nobody learns to like that. But he has grown from the things that have happened, and it has changed his attitude, I guess, towards dangers in life. Whereas instead of approaching things through the lens of fear, not that he isn't afraid of anything, he approaches it through the lens of, well, I want to be the one who shapes the narrative. I want to be the one that determines the outcome of the story. And so there's a big growth for the character from book 1 to book 2. And he finds, actually, on the way, there is a female there who probably no one would want to introduce to their mother, but he can't help but like her. He just does. As a matter of fact, I think the readers are going to like her a lot too. In trying to explain who she is, or to put an image in people's minds, when I talk about the book, I say, think of a Lord of the Rings type world, and then think of one of the main characters as kind of like a biker chick. So, for lack of she's a rogue, okay? She's a rogue, but she's just got that. I don't know. She's always had that biker chick feel to me, but and something keeps bringing them together, and he doesn't even know why. I mean, he likes her. I mean, he's kind of attracted to her, but that isn't how his mind works, Well, you may not know, especially if you haven't read the first book. But fate kind of pulls them together before the end of it, and it's going to have quite an impact on his life there too. But one of the and there's going to be loss to deal with again, but the thing is with this is, clearly from the first book to the second book, as much as loss hurts, he is able to tuck it away in a safe place and go on. I guess he's past the part where a lot of people, when they lose someone, a spouse, or God help you, a child, something like that, it can be really debilitating. And I've had personal loss, and I can tell you it can be really debilitating. But if you're able to grow from that, one time one of my daughters lost a half brother in a car accident, and she was really upset, and very understandably. But I said it to her, and I've had to live to my own words too since then, that you really only have two choices when something like that happens. You either find a way to come to terms with it, or you check out of the hotel. And there really isn't any in between. It's really one or the other. You either go on or you don't. But he is able to. He has come to a point where he's able to compartmentalize um, things that are difficult. This thing at least anyway, and find a way to go on, and it really becomes a building block for everything else. Every hurdle you get over in life somehow makes the other hurdles a little easier. I don't know if I can articulate why that is necessarily, but that's my observation. So, but anyway, the book, this one is pretty epic, and this is the one people most closely compare to a Tolkien type of work. It's very epic, and just when you think it's over, you get a reminder that it isn't over, and the worst is yet to come. So, but I don't want to give away too much about the book. But he is going to be put into a position to make a choice. Where he could choose to call it a loss and save himself, or be the I guess not. Ironic way of saying it, being the author of his own story. So the result of that, I think you'll find is being kind of amazing in how that has been articulated in the work. And like I said, I don't want to give away too much, but there are times when a lot of bad things can happen in life, and you can either put your foot down and say, okay, this is how it's going to be, or you can check out of the hotel. That's really the choices that you get sometimes. But it's really fascinating. One of the unique things in book 2 that you might find interesting, and I want to assure you a little bit about it. There are foreign languages that are spoken, a number of foreign languages that are spoken by different characters. You go to a new kingdom, they may not speak the same language as you. A new land, new people, they can have their own language. But I was very particular in how I did it, because either I wanted to make sure that there was a feel of a multicultural world, but I didn't want it to be something that the reader was like, what is this? I wanted to get away to avoid any of the confusion. So there's somebody, there's either somebody interpreting, or the language is close enough that you can figure it out because of the situation and the way it's explained. Or sometimes if there isn't a character to hear the language, if I break off, and just show something with characters from another land, then I just note that it's just in English, and I note that they're speaking in their native language, because there's no need, if the characters don't hear something that's foreign to them, there's no need for you to hear it. So I went to great lengths to smooth that over while still keeping that feel, and I think that feel is really important, because books are amazing, and you want to be able to immerse yourself in that world. That's why we read books. That's why we read, whether it's a detective story, or a horror story, or just suspense, or just romance. Okay, well, whatever. But that's why we read these things. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the book. I hope you read the book. because I don't believe you'll be sorry. If you like fantasy, you will like this book. You'll like both of them, and hopefully you'll like the other ones. I'm going to do some videos later of the next book I'm working on. I'll kind of give a highlight of that at some point, and I'll keep you updated. So wherever you are, best to you.